The lights in the arena shined brightly as two men prepared to battle for pride, skill, and glory. Felix Valera, representing the Dominican Republic, stepped into the ring with confidence. Known for his toughness and unorthodox style, he carried the hope of his fans on his shoulders. Across from him stood Dmitry Bivol of Russia, calm and focused, a rising star with a reputation for precision, discipline, and flawless technique. The matchup promised action, with Valera's grit and power against Bivol's sharp, methodical boxing. As the opening bell rang, Valera came out aggressive, trying to set the tone. He threw wild combinations, aiming to surprise Bivol and test his defense. The Dominican fighter wasn't afraid to take risks, lunging forward with hooks and uppercuts. Bivol, however, stayed composed, using his footwork to slide out of danger while firing straight jabs down the middle. From the very beginning, the contrast in styles was clear. Valera wanted chaos, Bivol wanted control. The early rounds showed Valera's hunger as he tried to impose his will, but Bivol's sharp counters began to take effect. Every time Valera charged in, Bivol punished him with a crisp jab or a clean right hand. The Russian wasn't rushing anything, he picked his shots carefully, landing with accuracy while conserving his energy. Valera kept swinging, smiling at times as if to show he wasn't hurt, but the punches were adding up. The crowd could see Bivol's strategy unfolding, slowly break down his opponent without taking unnecessary risks. By the third and fourth rounds, the rhythm of the fight leaned more toward Bivol. He started doubling his jab, stepping in with combinations, and using angles to keep Valera off balance. Valera still had moments, especially when he let his hands go in flurries, but his shots were often wide and missed their target. Bivol's discipline stood out. He never got dragged into a brawl, instead, he stayed patient, letting Valera make mistakes. In the middle rounds, the difference in class became clearer. Bivol's punches were sharp, clean, and accurate, landing straight through Valera's guard. A hard right hand in the fifth round snapped Valera's head back, and though he took it well, the Dominican's expression showed that the power was sinking in. Valera responded by trying to rough Bivol up inside, leaning on him, throwing wild hooks, and making it messy, but the Russian's composure never faded. He kept circling, pumping the jab, and scoring points with precision. Valera's toughness was on full display. Despite being outboxed, he never stopped coming forward, never stopped throwing punches. The crowd appreciated his heart, but they could see the cleaner, more effective work was being done by Bivol. Each round, Bivol's accuracy and ring control added to his dominance. He wasn't just winning exchanges, he was dictating the entire fight. By the seventh and eighth rounds, Valera's aggression began to slow. His swings were wider, his movements less sharp. Meanwhile, Bivol looked fresh, still light on his feet, still firing punches with the same speed and accuracy as in the opening rounds. At times, it looked like Bivol was running a masterclass in boxing, slipping punches, countering with ease, and landing clean combinations. As the later rounds unfolded, Bivol turned up the pace slightly, testing whether he could break Valera completely. He landed powerful right hands and sharp left hooks, snapping Valera's head back again and again. But no matter how many shots landed, Valera's spirit never broke. He absorbed the punishment and kept fighting back, even if his punches didn't find their target. His heart was undeniable, but the skill gap was just too wide. When the final bell rang, both fighters raised their hands, but everyone in the arena knew who had controlled the fight. The judges confirmed it with a clear decision victory for Dmitry Bivol. It wasn't just a win, it was a statement. Bivol had shown patience, accuracy, and discipline, proving why he was seen as one of the brightest talents in boxing. Felix Valera, though on the losing side, left with respect. He showed courage, determination, and the will to keep fighting despite the odds. He tested Bivol's endurance and spirit, but on this night, the Russian was simply too sharp, too smart, and too skilled. As the crowd applauded, Bivol stood tall in the center of the ring, his hand raised in victory. His calm, methodical approach had turned the fight into a showcase of technique and intelligence. For Valera, it was another chapter in a tough career, a reminder of the warrior he is. For Bivol, it was another step closer to greatness, a performance that added to his growing reputation as one of boxing's finest technicians. It was a fight of heart against precision, willpower against discipline. In the end, Dmitry Bivol's skills shined through, but both men left the ring with pride, knowing they had given the fans a night